Hello, good morning, everybody. I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful Monday so far. Looking forward to spending our sesh today going through our videos. So let me know who's all here so we can make sure that we are, of course, not wasting your time showing anyone's video who's not here today. Looking forward to seeing these. I did grade my my TV3 videos over the weekend, and that's why it prompted me to put that message in Classroom for you guys, just because I knew some folks were doing some grinding over the weekend, and I was catching a lot of mistakes. And I figured I would just kind of give you a heads up, like, hey, don't forget these things. And honestly, folks, those mistakes were not creative ones. It was just very simply not following the project guidelines at all. And I'm hoping that you guys buck the trend. All right, Ryan, Luke, good morning. Happy to see you both. Let me get my videos prepped up here. They're downloaded, ready to go. Just keep in mind, these were downloaded about a half an hour ago. And so if you've turned it in within the last few minutes, I don't have it. I'm going to get back into our class for a second. The problem when I download them, and maybe we should, I'll put this for the next project, is I don't have names attached to them when they download unless you put the name in the title. Right, which I see Liana did, and Nick and Lucas did, which is fine. I just got to reference our classroom so I know what it's called. Lucas is here. Hello, good morning. Oh dear. Okay, that's good. All right. So we'll give another minute or so for some folks to show. Hopefully we get a big audience. I've got 12 projects turned in, which means we're missing about half of the class. So before we get into it and while we're waiting, Ryan, Luke, Lucas, since you guys are here, we got one more mystery person in our stream. Did you guys have any sort of technical issues? I got a flurry of emails yesterday with some last minute, this isn't working type stuff, and I'm curious if you guys had any problems like that. So I'm gonna put out next class. We'll go over it a little bit a more extensive reflection on this one, especially because I want to focus in on the tech stuff and make sure that it wasn't a huge hassle. All right, because we're going to get kind of into our in the home stretch of our year together, and I'm hoping that's going to become a little bit more clear for me once I figure out what graduation is going to look like and what they want us to do for graduation. So did you guys have any sort of issues or tech issues? Everything was working fine for Luke. Awesome. Ryan, we were okay? Cool. Okay, good. I think what it was is I think the people that were scrambling maybe last minute, there were some issues on WeVideo's end, and it wasn't allowing people to save or export. And as much as I could get in and try and do some things, I was limited because I think it was on their end. But it seems like they have resolved that. So good. I'm glad that you guys at least were issue free. So let's knock on wood and hope that as we move into some other stuff, then you continue to be issue free. Okay. So let's run down the list here today. Ryan, Luke, Lucas. We're going to go in that order. So we're going to start with Ryan's video. Now, I'm going to hope that I don't have any technical issues. Um, just because I've been using my broadcaster for a bunch of different stuff. For these streams, of course, I've been doing some video recordings for individual people. So, like the folks I was emailing last night that were having similar issues, I just loaded up, shot a very quick video at like 10 o'clock at night and sent it their way. Because I figured it'd be easier to see things and explain things than to try and get it out in an email. I've been doing some game streaming. So like I'm running through the ringer here, and every time I have to go back into this and change what I'm doing, there's a lot of stuff to tweak, and I want to make sure this works correctly. So let's get into how to video turn in. Let's go to Ryan's project. All right, so of course I'm gonna kill my mic during our screening. Now this is gonna be just some quick feedback and impressions, guys. Aiden, hello, hi, welcome. I am gonna give a more in-depth critique and feedback when I score these. All right, I have a rubric made up and which pretty much outlines the project requirements, kind of step by step, and so. Where'd it go? Son of a gun. Let's find it here. I thought I had it up. Oh my God. There it is. Okay. Just so you guys get a glimpse. A quick glimpse. Oh, too many desktops. Welcoming me back. Okay, thanks. So just so you know what I'm looking at, a couple categories here. All right, most of them follow the project guideline sheet. All right, the exceptions being, the video image and quality, like how good are your shots? Are our shots steady? And I understand there's a lot of leniency here with what you've been shooting just because we don't have the same tools. And I understand that. All right, did we hit that 15 shot minimum? Did we get the 5 required shots I'm looking for? Did we use text the appropriate amount of times, which for this project again was 7? And do we appear on camera and in what capacity, whether it's the demonstrative and the direct address or both or a combination of. So that's there. All right. Effort and concept. All right. How good are you able at demonstrating your skill set? Can you do so with confidence? And does it look like you put time into what it is that you're doing? And then finally, how did the final edit come together? So those are the 6 categories for this. So you're going to get this back, of course, with my sections highlighted from what I saw and where I felt you scored. I'll get some notes in there. So like a short little paragraph about things, and then of course the score. So those will go back. I'm gonna try and stay on top of it a little bit sooner than normal. Normally I would sit down on a Saturday and grade all these. Today's Monday. That's a long time to wait, and this is going to be a very busy week for me. So I'm going to try and move through some of these tonight. It may be like 3 or 4, and if you're here in class, I might start with yours just because you're here in class. Nick, hi, welcome. And so I'm going to try and get this stuff back to you a little bit sooner. I've got a lot of video projects I got to take care of for the school. I'm actually going into the school this afternoon to clean up my classroom, which is kind of sad and a bummer. So I know I'm going to have my hands full. I just want to try and stay on top of things to get these back to you. So Ryan, Luke, Lucas, Aiden, and Nick, if I have your projects in today, I will try and carve out a chunk of time before dinner to sit down and maybe do a little bit of grading, so you'll get these back a little bit sooner. So that's what I'm going to try and do today. I also know I got to develop some stuff for what's next for us. So a lot of stuff going on. All right, let's get into it without further ado. I've got Ryan's video queued up, and we're going to move down the list. So I'm going to kill my mic here, and we will see you on the other side of this video. The one disclaimer I'm going to give in regards to my feedback is that I can't hear anything. So actually, maybe I can if I do this. remember for your practice videos, I was like, oh, it's playing back and there's audio, but I don't have a reference to that audio. And it didn't matter so much for it didn't matter so much for that project. For this, it does a little bit. So if things hiccup a little bit, I apologize. I'm going to try and plug in my headphones and see if we can get that to, God, I hate these headphones, to go a little bit better. All right, here is Ryan's video.
I'm Ryan. I'm here to show you how to make a classic tuna fish sandwich. So first things first, you gotta open the tuna. So right here, got the can open. Okay, so after that, you wanna take the top, put it back on the tuna. You wanna flip the tuna over so you get all the juices out. Otherwise, you get a soggy, just mushy tuna fish sandwich, and it's just not as good as if you got the juices out. Okay, so once you have the tuna drained, you want to just wash your hands because then you have the tuna smell on you. Okay, so once your hands are all washed and dried, you want to take the tuna with the fork and you want to just scoop it out, put it into the bowl. So once you have the tuna out, you want to open up the mayo, and you want to use a spoon because if you don't, you have tuna in your mayo, which it's just you got tuna in your mayo, so it's not good. You want to get two spoonfuls. It feels like a lot, but it's pretty much just right. Then you want to mix it together with the fork. You want to break apart all the tuna. So once you have it all mixed up with the mayo, personally, I like to black some pepper into it. So I do 3 to 4 shakes. And after, if you put the pepper in, you can mix it together. And then that's how I make a classic tuna fish sandwich.
All right, Ryan, nice. That was awesome. And I did get to hear it, so that was really cool. As someone who makes tuna fish every day for lunch, because it is a lean, healthy protein, I won't put it on bread, though. I got to cut those carbs somewhere. Really awesome. So my only quick notes on feedback. One, I loved that you gave credit to your mom for camera operating. I also love that you were on camera in the way that you were. Apron was a really nice touch. My quick feedback for areas of improvement, the sequence in which you were washing your hands, I would have probably cut a little shorter. Like, hey, wash your hands because they smell like tuna. Wash, wash, wash. Like 2 seconds, boom, cut and done. That went on for a little bit long. I don't know what the runtime was, so I don't know if we were like, oh no, I'm really short. I can elongate washing my hands. I'm not sure. Otherwise, uses of titles were great. That was really good. That was really good. And I'm jealous that your kitchen sink is that big because mine is not, and I could use that much space. Very cool. Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna load up the next one here. I'm just gonna move down the list to Luke. I'm happy I get to hear these this time. I got to figure out which one Luke's is because they're not named. Oh wait, no, Lucas is, but Luke's not. So give me a sec here. Bounce back to Google Drive. Oh, Luke's is duh, I'm an idiot. It says his name right there. There we go. Okay. All right, cool. So let's bounce into Luke's and enjoy.
Wait a minute.
There's a math assignment due in 5 minutes? And I haven't even started it? What am I gonna do? Have you ever been in a situation like this in which an important deadline is stressing you out? Don't worry, my name is Luke Bennett, and with my over 9 years of experience in school, I am proud to present some tips to help you out with staying organized for school.
This is Staying Planned and Prepared, how to become a school organizing master. Let's start off with some history. In 1973, the first computer was invented. A few years later, in 1992, the first cell phone was invented. These two devices have helped shape the way in which students organize and complete their work. Now let's discuss what you will need to become a better student and how to organize and prepare for school. 4 of these items that you can use efficiently are a laptop or computer, a mobile phone, a calendar, and a notebook or planner. With these 4 items, you can become a more efficient and productive student. These next tips I'm about to share with you have helped me throughout my entire school career, and I encourage you to try them out too. One of the most important steps to becoming a more efficient and productive student is to keep in touch with your teachers. One important way you can communicate with your teachers is by sending them emails or by messaging them through your phones or through your computers. With these 2 devices, your teachers can send you messages back and forth in a quick amount of time. Another important way to keep organized for school is to keep a notebook or a planner. By jotting things down in a notebook, you can keep track of all of your assignments. This will make sure that you use your time wisely on completing all of your work. Next, it's good to create a good schedule that revolves around your life and the schoolwork that you have left to complete. For example, if you play a sport like football, then you may have to take time out of your week to practice and to play. Keeping a good schedule will make sure that you can perform your after-school activities while leaving time to complete your schoolwork. Next, organizing all of your physical work into one place, like a binder, will help you become a more efficient student. Having papers thrown around everywhere is usually not a good thing. So it's important to take time out of your day and organize your papers into something like a binder to make sure that all of your work stays in one place. The final tip I will be giving today is to take deep breaths and to try to relax. For most of us, typing away at a keyboard or writing down notes all day could be stressful. So by taking deep breaths, it makes sure that you're calmed down and ready to get back to work. With these 5 tips, it's almost guaranteed that you'll become a better student and that you'll be able to budget your time better. Not only can these tips help you out now, but they can also be used in the future for many different situations. This was Luke Bennett's 5 ways to become a more efficient and productive student. Thank you all for watching the video.
Luke, that was outstanding. Very, very cool. And we're going to welcome Nick for joining us here today. I love the way that you opened that up. Just very creative, right? Humorous situation, and I'm sure a very relatable one at that. I mean, even now when I know I've got stuff that I got to take care of from work, I do have those moments where like you get into bed and you're just ready to fall asleep, and all of a sudden you have that pang of fear because you realize, oh no, something I need to do, it takes place tomorrow or is due tomorrow, and I have totally forgot about it till this exact minute. That was really good, really well thought out. Great use of the shots. I loved your top-down shot in the corner there. That looked really cool. Audio quality was fantastic. Luke, that was excellent. That was excellent. Great job. That one's got me excited. That one I want to share. All right, let's we're gonna move on. To Lucas, who's going to teach me how to shoot a basketball, which is a skill that I am not very good at, despite my height. Oop, no, I do not want to stop streaming. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's get our B-ball on.
This is how to shoot a basketball with Lucas Lavilla. On your jump shot, you're going to want to use more of your fingertips rather than your palm. But if you need more strength, you could use more of your palm, obviously. So you're going to want to make sure that your elbow is tucked, your chest is puffed, and your shoulders are back and relaxed. Okay, you also want to make sure that your dominant big toe is facing towards the rim. It's okay for your feet to be on a little bit of a slant. You just want your dominant big toe to face towards the rim. So next, you're going to want to focus on the front of the rim and then thrust and shoot. Fully extend your elbow. You want to go up and down, not to the side. So here's what it's going to look like. Alright, by the end of your shot, you're going to want your shooting hand to go like pointed down and look as if it's going into the rim. Alright, remember to hold your follow through as well, or else your shot will look like a flip and get bad spin rotation. So here you go. Your jump shot may not look exactly how I say it should be, but as long as you follow the guidelines, it should be good. Each jump shooter has a unique quirk to their jump shot. So.
All right, Lucas, awesome. That was really great too. I got a little concerned in the beginning because the opening shot is you vertically with the giant black empty spaces on the sides. And thankfully, when you switched over to the instructional stuff, it had that kind of blurred, mirrored look, which is better than having big empty spaces there. But as someone who doesn't play basketball, here's two things that jump out. One, I'm curious how many times you had to do takes on the off chance that you explain something and then miss the shot that you did at the end of it. Because I'm sure it might have been a little frustrating if you didn't get that the first, second, third, or 12th time that you had to keep doing it. And then the second thing was like instinctually, and I think this is the sign of good instruction, is as you were explaining hand placement and tucking your shoulder and kind of, I was actually mirroring it as well because I don't play basketball. And so like everyone knows how to like throw a ball or, to some extent towards a hoop. But like those little details I was never taught or told. So I wasn't like a chucker, but, I know the notion of finesse. I was never instructed properly. So like, I think that was really cool that I kind of caught myself in the middle, like trying to mirror what you were doing. And I'm guessing that was your brother that helped you out shoot. Really cool. Awesome. I'm hoping that they didn't mind getting involved because that was really, really great. Awesome. It's also, side note, and I know it may sound kind of silly, but like it's genuinely really nice to see your guys' faces in these projects because it's been so long. And, when you come out to streams, you get to see me, but I don't get to see you guys. And I miss being in class with you. So this is nice to see everyone's face and hopefully having fun doing and demonstrating something they enjoy. So let's move on then to Aiden. Do I have Aiden's video? Let's see. Aiden, I do not have your video. Remember, it was due at the start of class today. Give me a quick update, and we're going to move on to Nick's. Nick, who's going to tell us how to make some scrambled eggies. And Nick, I'm glad that you saw that comment I made in your worksheet to make sure that we added the type of eggs in the title, just because there's so many different ways to make eggs. I'll go scrambled if I'm going to mix in like cheese or peppers and onions and stuff, but normally it's like over easy. It's how I like it. But let's see what we got. So without further ado, here's Nick Amato showing us how to make some eggs. those actually really did look like good eggs. Not that I would doubt you, but I know the one thing with scrambled eggs that people tend to do wrong is they let them overcook a little bit, so they don't actually get as scrambled. They kind of harden a little bit on the bottom. And I know when I'm making coffee and bacon and eggs and toast and butter, and like there's a lot of stuff that I'll just let the eggs sit for a little bit too long, but those actually look really good. And much like me, you also add a little bit of cheese. If you want to mix it up a little bit, try, instead of like shredded cheese, try using cream cheese. So good. That's how my mom used to make them, and they were delicious. Awesome. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. This is hopefully the last food one because it shouldn't make me hungry, but that made me really hungry. And I love eggs. I eat eggs every day. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let's press on to Mr. Nicholas Schmid. Oh, that's right, skateboarding. Man, all right, I'm psyched for this one. I've always wanted to be able to do tricks like this or moves like this. Skateboarding was huge when I was growing up in the 90s as like, kind of an anti-establishment type activity, and it fit the punk scene and all that stuff. So like that was really cool, but I was terrible at it. So I'm excited to see this. All right, Nick's going to teach us how to do a pop shove it. Wait, shove it? Pop shove it. Well, we'll find out. Here we go.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Nick Schmidt, and today we're going to learn how to do a shove it on a skateboard. But first, let's go over a brief history of skateboarding and how it came to be. Around the 1950s is when surfers in California and Hawaii started testing the idea of surfing on land. And what they did was they would take smaller surfboards and attach metal wheels to the bottom. In the late 1950s is when skateboarding peaked. It was during the post-war period that the U.S. economy boomed, which directly affected the toy industry. Multiple toy industries started to hear word about the board with wheels, and it wasn't until 1959 that a toy company named Roller Derby released the first official skateboard with some new developments. Alright, so shove it. One of the most basic moves of skateboarding, where you just move your board from here to here, and very simple steps that I will teach you today. Alright, so first step is to get a skateboard, preferably one with all the cool graphics and stuff on it, but it's all up to whatever you like. Next, you want to just get comfortable with standing on the skateboard, because that's a hard task itself when you're first learning how to ride one. So you just want to get familiar with how the skateboard works and how to stand on it. After you've done all that, you just want to step on the board and have your left foot right below the bolts and your right foot hanging over the edge of the tail. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have your foot over the tail, because without that step, you're going to get no spin on your board. After practicing just putting your foot over the tail, you're going to want to practice the motion of the kicking back, which will get the spin on the board. And what you basically do is you just kick your right foot back, just like this. Simple enough, while jumping. And lastly, you want to land pretty centered on the board, because if you put too much weight on one side of the board, you'll probably fly off and possibly injure yourself. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned how to do a shove it. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Nick, that was great. Guys, these are so good. Oops, I'm a little hot there. Oh yeah, big. All right. Really, really cool. I like the little history background as well. 1959. I did not know that was. I did. Outside of a few movies, I think it's a documentary called Dogtown and Z-Boys. Is all about like California skate rising in popularity. I don't know if that was a documentary or that was it is. Yeah, if you want to see a really cool documentary, Nick, or anyone, about like skating in the 70s, documentary called Dogtown and Z-Boys. And it was kind of how these group of kids would kind of go around like these pseudo amateur skaters, because professional skating, of course, I don't think was a thing. And they would find like all these empty pools, from homes that were for sale or abandoned homes, and they would use those to skate in, and that kind of gave birth to like half pipes and things like that. It's really, really cool documentary. But Nick, that was awesome. I think the only thing that I have from a curiosity standpoint is why that move is called a shove it, right? Like where did the name originate from? I understand it might have to do with like, well, you're kicking the board out and swinging around, which, by the way, your step-by-steps were very detailed, and I like how you kind of gave disclaimers to things as far as, making sure your foot's over the tail in the right way, or landing on the board appropriately, because if you're too front or back heavy, it's going to pop up. I thought that was really, really great. You actually, for someone who would love to be able to try this, like I don't own a skateboard, you made this seem very approachable as far as something that if you're comfortable, athletically and with balance, right, two things with skateboarding that you need to be, that this is within reason to try and do. And I'm like, damn, I want to go to Amazon and buy a skateboard so I can practice in the parking lot. That was really great. Good use of text and titles as well. Really, really well done. And now I know my benchmark for class is because we got through about 6 videos. And Aiden, if you have an update or like a progress update, I'd love to hear where you're at with the project. Because I don't want to show anybody else's work if they're not here to hear some feedback, or I don't want to take away time from you guys that did a fantastic job on getting these done and putting them together. And really, really, really impressed. You guys have set the bar high for my next period class for sure. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna call it on the day. You guys hustled on these projects, and it looks like we did a really good job. I will, of course, put the magnifying glass up when I watch these again later to give those rubrics back to you with good feedback and nitpick a little bit on maybe, hey, we had 6 uses of text instead of 7. I wasn't counting now. I was just kind of enjoying watching it fresh for the first time. But good first impressions all around. We'll wrap on the day. I think if we end a little early, I think it's totally warranted on a screening day that we get to relax a little bit. Right now, just to give you guys an idea of what the rest of our week looks like, there's probably going to be a reflective assignment posted for this project on the start of class or by the start of class on Wednesday. I might even give us a little bit of time to do that. And just being totally transparent with you, I'm still kind of workshopping and figuring out where we're headed next. The 2 biggest factors in that are I'm fighting the calendar, okay, because there's only so much time left in our school year together. And I'm also potentially going to have to get pulled from like my class streams to do things to prep for graduation. I don't know what that looks like yet. I had a meeting myself with Mrs. Herrick and Miss Robinson last Friday with Dr. Petrowski and our vice principals. And, there's a possibility that we might have to get pulled to take care of some stuff for that, which on the flip side might mean that our class load gets a little bit lighter. I would be kind of bummed about that, but we'll see where that goes. So if that means that our reflection on Wednesday might be the only thing that we're doing that day, I might be okay with that. That's going to give me a little bit more time to make sure that I'm fully thought out and planned and ready to go for class on Friday. All right. And if word comes in late, we'll adjust. All right. We've been good at that all year. So I'm going to wrap up now, guys. I hope you enjoy the little bit of time you have left, hopefully before your next class, to breathe a little bit, relax a little bit, unwind a little bit, and I will see you all again on Wednesday. So again, fantastic job with these. Really great across the board. I'm going to let 4B know that the bar is set high because of you folks. So great job, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. All right, gang, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.